everybody doing? If this is your first time being on this channel, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. I hope everybody come on tonight. Apologize, I was supposed to have been here yesterday, but man, we had a super busy day yesterday at my job, so I couldn't jump on today. Yesterday. But I am here today, so I hope everybody coming to the live tonight. Just gonna wait for a while, see if anybody is here. So far, nobody's here. Okay, Marcus is here. Good. Mr. Marcus, you are the first one in line, brother. What's up? What's up, man? What's up, my brother? Oh, okay, Joseph just jumped in. What's up, Joe? Joe is the man. What's happening? Yeah, I apologize for yesterday. I was going to come on yesterday. Man, we were super busy yesterday. And by the time I got back home, I was just really, really super exhausted, man. I was just like, because I work in the hospital, so it was really super busy. I'm glad to see y'all, man. I talked to Chris yesterday. He's in Cartagena. I said, man, I envy you. I envy Chris. He's in Cartagena as we speak. I can't wait to go back to Colombia, I'll tell you that. So it's good to see you, Joseph. Good to see you too, Marcus. You guys are the only two in so far. I'm just going to wait for maybe two more people to jump on. Got a lot of interesting things to talk about tonight. Got a lot of interesting things to talk about tonight. I hope everybody comes on tonight. So, Marcus, are you still going to do the romance tour? Let me see, two people was here so far. I'm just waiting on more people to come in. I'm showing three people so far. Hey, if you're out there, please let me know in the comment section by giving me a thumbs up. And please give me a like. Oh, he said, oh, but not in Colombia. Oh, wow. So where are you talking about doing the romance tour at? You say you don't understand the currency. Well, you can learn it, bro. It's not that hard. Just use ratio and proportions. $1, $1 is equivalent to 3,000 Colombian pesos. That's all you have to do. Easy. Just use ratio and proportion. If $1 equals 3,000 pesos, then $2 will equal 6,000 pesos. Just like that. It's not that hard. And then they have conversions on the phone. You have, you can use your phone to convert the currency. They have apps that you can use to do that, brother. It's really not that difficult, sir. Let me see. We got 7 people on so far. Okay, I'm going to jump in. If this is your first time on this live, please make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. This channel, we talk about the travel space and we talk about geoeconomics and geopolitics sometimes too. Because let me tell you something, there is a lot that's going on in the world today. There's a whole lot. I don't know if y'all heard, but there is a restrictions on visas from 75 countries. Let me see what you said. The Colombian peso is at a record low compared to the US dollar. Yeah, I heard that. You mean your dollar's not going as far as it used to, right? Yeah, it has been fluctuating. You're right. One time I checked it, it was like $1 was only equivalent to 2,000 pesos. I was like, what? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. Said it's going to be Jamaica, but not in Colombia. He operates in Panama, El Salvador, Ecuador, and more because the amount isn't really by the best friend. I'm more on the reader and the writer. Okay. But thanks because I was wondering how you would learn and going to look into Colombia. It's not that easy, brother. It's not I'm sorry, it's not that difficult. I went to Colombia my first time, and once you begin to use it, it's ratio and proportion. It's mathematics. $1 equals 3,000 or 4,000 or 2,000 pesos. $1. So if one equals two, then two means there'd be if it's $2,000, there'd be $4,000. But they have Google has like translations that you could translate, the currency, whatever country you go to, like in Brazil or Thailand, whatever country that you use, they have apps that you can actually help you translate the currency. Oh, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. But I think you will have much more fun in the Colombian romance tour than the rest of them. I'm not gonna lie. I had a really good time at the romance tour. I'm not gonna lie, but it was very expensive though. Because if you take multiple girls, multiple cab rides, you can spend easily $200 to $300 a day. It all depends on how many women that you're gonna see. I had like 35 dates that I had to go on, and my translator she set up every like you have a date at 12 o'clock, then you have another date at 3 o'clock, and then you have another date at 5 o'clock, and then you have another date at 8 o'clock. So you bouncing out of cabs just constantly, and then you got to feed your translator too. It was very expensive. I think that romance tour and that was back then. This was a few years ago. We ain't talking about today. That romance tour was very very expensive. Yeah, it was very expensive. Yeah, so let me talk about what's going on with the visa. President Trump, man, I tell you, I mean, he has made it clear that he doesn't want immigrants to be financially a burden on Americans. So he's changing the policy. And he made guidelines to ensure immigrants from these high risk countries don't utilize the United States and become a public charge. So he's afraid of these immigrants coming over here and they're going to be a burden on the American people. He said effective July 26, the State Department will be pausing all visas to immigrants, visa applicants who are nationals from the following country. Wow. He got like 75 different countries that he put on this notice. You got Afghanistan, you got Albania, you got Algeria, you got Antigua and Barbados, Armenia, you have the Bahamas, you have Bangladesh, Barbados is on that list, Belarus is on that list, Belize is on that list, and you got Brazil on that list. You got Burma, Cambodia, Cameroon. You got Colombia on that list. You got Cuba on the list. You got the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Dominica, Egypt, Lebanon, Liberia, Libya, Mongolia. Wow, Mongolia, Morocco, Nepal, Nicaragua. You got Nigeria on there, North Macedonia, Pakistan, the Republic of the Congo, Russia, Rwanda. Wow. You got St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Sudan is on that list. Syria is on that list. Tanzania, and oh my God, Thailand. Thailand is on that list too. And then you got Congo, Tunisia, Uganda. You got Uruguay, Uzbekistan, and Yemen. Wow, those are the, yeah. Yeah, Yemen and Colombia more, yep. But see, what's going to happen is those same countries are going to reciprocate. Because I've been hearing news that tourists has been going to some of these countries and been denied entry. Has been denied entry. Like in Thailand, for example. I've heard of tourists going to Thailand and there they get turned away. So this is going to be, I believe this is reciprocal. And things are getting much, much worse to travel. It's going to get worse. I believe it's going to get worse. You know, but am I still going to Colombia? Yes, I am. I'm still going. As a matter of fact, there is a travel advisory to travel to South America because they said, the State Department said that you at high risk of terrorism if you go. But I don't, you know what? I don't live in fear, but I am aware of my surroundings. You know, because anything can happen to you anywhere. So I'm still going. America's reputation, man, is getting really, really tainted. And when you go to these countries, you're going to be probably a target. You know what I'm saying? So wherever it is that you go, just make sure that you just be aware of your surroundings. Then I got something else to tell you. Um, this is kind of sad in the way I'm getting ready to tell you. Um, there is a documentary about what happened in Venezuela. Okay, there was like a documentary of what happened in Venezuela. And I just really, you know, when the Delta Force came in to get Maduro, I heard that they used some sort of sonic weapon to do it. They used some type of sonic weapon to immobilize Maduro's guards, like some type of harmonic type of pulse weapon that when they activate it, it makes you nauseous. It makes you pass out. You know what I'm saying? They describe it as it feels like your head is about to explode. Well, I heard that they were incapacitated and they still unalived them anyway. I thought that was very, very, very sad. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't know. It just sounds to me that was excessive force. You know they respect you and you respect them. That's all that matters. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I always give respect when I travel. I don't have any problems. But you know what? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." You know, for them to go, that whole mission when they went in there to get Maduro and they unalived those people like that, I thought that was that's scary. I think that was just an overreach, to be honest with you. Just really heavy-handed, you know. I think they had what they need to have to win in there and get Maduro out without causing that many casualties. I heard it was over. It was quite a few people that lost their lives, especially Cuban bodyguards that protected Maduro. I just want to tell you, what you put in the universe is going to come back on you. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." That's in the Bible. And Jesus said, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." You know that? And I'm going to be honest with you about something. I'm not trying to make this a religious channel or anything like that. I am very spiritual. I am. And I believe one day, all of us, when we pass this life, we're going to have to meet our Maker and be judged according to our works and what we've done here on this world. I really believe that. I really believe that God is the ultimate judge. And he's going to come back on you like, why didn't you show mercy on those people? You know, I'm not saying to put people in harm's way or anything like that, but when I seen the documentary, I was just like, wow, that was just sad. It was just really sad. But me personally, now this is another thing that I'm hearing, my information that I'm getting, that the oil companies don't even want to go to Venezuela. They don't even want to go there. Because when you start something off like that and expect to be rewarded, expect to be prosperous, it's not going to work. It's not. Because God is the ultimate judge of everything. It says no weapon formed against you should prosper. It won't. It's just my opinion. Then another thing is just now we want to attack Greenland, to take over Greenland. And this is a very, very, oh my God. Denmark is saying that we are not going to give up our country. So how can you go in there and take something that doesn't belong to you? I don't understand that. So now you have the whole NATO alliance that's in crisis right now. You have the U.S., which is a NATO country, is getting ready to fight another NATO country. And NATO has been around for 80 years. I don't see that working. I don't know. It's not going to work. So we are living in very perilous times. So now you got France, you got all these other countries, other NATO countries say they will fight the U.S. if they have to. If he goes in there and get Greenland, oh man. Because the thing you have to understand, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about economics, is that they're trying to take Greenland because of rare earth minerals. But you gotta know how to extract those rare earth minerals, and you gotta have the right equipment. You got to have. I don't see nothing in it because you gotta drill through all that ice and everything. You have to have different machines and different contractors going over there to Greenland. Oh man. So what's up, guys? You guys are so quiet on here on the live stream. Is it very cold where you guys at today? It's very cold here. Very, 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 very cold. Yeah, I know, man. But it's not gonna work, man. When you take something that don't belong to you, it's not gonna flourish. All right, Mr. Chris, man. Good to see you. Chris is in Cartagena. Chris. Man, I'll tell you, I envy you. I envy you, Chris. You in the warm climate, man. I would give anything to be in Colombia right now. Oh, you said tomorrow, man. I'm already in this live, man. Man, I am so envious of you, man. I'm so envious of you. But man, you have yourself a good time in Santa Marta, man, in Colombia. I heard there was a travel advisory for going to South America because of possible of terrorism, but yeah, I'm going anyway, man. When I get all my bills paid, everything taken care of, I'm going. I talked to my friend in Medellin. I told her that I gotta come and see her. Because I'm gonna tell you something. In the States, you get no love, no love. I still haven't been on the date since I left Colombia. It's hard to get a date in the States now. The only time I'm able to get a really nice date is in Colombia. As soon as I get there, I got 3 dates easily, just like that. 2 or 3 easily. To all my members, make sure you guys join the membership. I sent some information out the other day on the community about Lynette Zhang, about gold and everything. The price of gold has really went up, man. Yeah, about that time, yeah. Oh, he said the prices are going to increase. A guy in Medellin said that the prices will increase in 2026. Wow. Everything is increasing, man. Everything is increasing. If we get into a war, as a matter of fact, I'm hearing that they may attack Iran. If they attack Iran, if Iran is attacked, man, you're talking about the price of oil is going to skyrocket. You see, these are things we talk about in the community, wealth building community. I tell you all what's going on, what stocks to buy, how to make money, I'm saying, how to build wealth. And that's what's very important. So make sure you guys join my membership, man. Every month is like $2.99, but you're getting a lot of information. And I'm going to drop some more stuff on the community tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. Get some silver. Right. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You got to get prepared for what's coming, guys. Because according to economists, the American empire is in decline. When the reset happens, over 127 million people is going to lose their wealth. I'm not joking. When the reset happens. He said it's cheaper and it's going to be worth a lot of money. My dad got it too. Yeah. So what happens is that gold and silver locks in your wealth. Okay? And to my members, I showed you all a stock that I have that's doing extremely well that I purchased. And I showed you all the stock, the purchase, and that stock is still going up. Not only you should buy physical gold, but you also invest and buy stocks within the mining companies. And some of these mining companies are rare earths mineral companies. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is when the reset happens, 127 million people is going to lose everything, mostly everything, because the whole currency is going to be reevaluated. You know what I'm saying? What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that, let's say you have, I'm not an economist or anything, but I'm just giving you information. Let's say you have $100,000, right, in the bank. Okay. Let's say, I'm just saying, for example, let's say that you have enough money of that $100,000 to buy a house for cash. Let's say, for example. But then that money, but then the currencies become, it resets. When the currency becomes reset and reevaluated, that $100,000 no longer can purchase you a house. It goes down and down and down and down. And maybe it gets to the point where maybe you can afford a loaf of bread with that same $100,000. Your purchasing power has basically sunk. And that's why I'm telling you guys to join my membership so we all could be prepared for what's getting ready to come. Because I'm going to be honest with you, this stuff that's going on with Greenland, this stuff that's going on with Venezuela, you know what I'm saying? Usually when empires are in decline, they reach out and they grab hold to things, you know what I'm saying, to make themselves more significant, because we are in decline. We are in decline. Empires go up and empires go down. Yeah. Oh, eight. What's up, bro? How you doing, Mr. Eight? Mr. Eight, it is so good to see you. It's so good to see y'all. I know you have a lot to talk about sports and everything, but I don't have any way to watch it. I mean, back in the day, I used to be able to watch a lot of football and stuff like that. But when they try to sell you everything, like for example, when the Lions was in the playoffs last year, I had to actually get like six different platforms to be able to follow the playoffs. There were trial platforms like, for example, Fox may show a game, and then NBC Peacock may show the next game, and then Amazon Prime may show you the next game. Then ESPN let you watch the next. It was just too much. It was just too much. Yeah, streaming killed it. Yeah, see, I'm back from the days. I remember this is before y'all time, but you used to be able to watch everything on regular television, either NBC, ABC, or CBS. That's all you needed. You'd be able to watch much as football you want. I used to watch football all the time. But when they got greedy and talk about you gotta have this, you gotta watch, you gotta sign up for this, or sign up for that. Hey, I don't got that type of bread, man. Yeah, streaming really just messed up. It just messed up everything. I remember the complete NBA playoffs used to be shown on NBC. The Eastern Conference Finals, the Boston Celtics against the Los Angeles Lakers. NBC all the time. During the days of Michael Jordan, NBC used to show those playoff games with Michael Jordan with the Bulls. I used to be glued to the TV. But now everybody got greedy. They want you to sign up for this, sign up for that, sign up for Peacock. Man, when I was watching the Lions playoff game, I was just chasing like damn. And then what's so bad about it? I purchased the YouTube sports channel, YouTube channel, the premium. So I thought with them, I'd be able to watch all the games, college, you know, when when Deion Sanders first came to Colorado, I wanted to watch all those games. So one minute I was able to watch the game, and the next minute I had to sign up for you know, another platform to watch the Colorado game. I said, wait a minute, I'm already paying $80 for YouTube. Well, I think at the time it was like $70. And then I got to sign up for something else to watch another college game. It was just too much. I just said, forget it. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got. I got the Sunday ticket, but they still didn't show up. And you know what really made me mad? You know what really made me angry? When I was in Medellin, I wanted to watch some Sunday afternoon football, NFL Sunday. Guess what? They couldn't show it because I was in a different country. I was so freaking mad. I was like, forget this. Forget it. I canceled my membership. Yeah, but I was in my room. You know what I'm saying? I'm all relaxed in the bed. Just sometimes you don't want to go anywhere. Yeah, I could have went to a bar. That's true because there's one bar I go to. I watch it sometimes when I'm there. Um, what's the name of that soul food restaurant that DC Boy Rod be talking about all the time? I can't think of it. I used to go there and watch it. What's the name of that soul food restaurant, guys? I can't remember. It's in Poblado. What's the name of it? It's called. Oh my God! I can't believe I can't forget. Sweet George's Cafe. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, sometimes I meet up with some brothers up there and we watch the game there. Sometimes they have NFL Sundays there. Nice place to make, but I was kind of mad at them because they didn't have my yams. How can you have soul food and you don't have no yams, man? I only can have mac and cheese and greens and fried chicken. But I said, without my yams, I'm sorry, I can't eat soul food without my yams. Or the red zone, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was bad, man. And it happened to me twice when I went down there. The last time I went down there, I went to Sweet George's Cafe and they didn't have no yams. And then before that, I went back to Sweet George's Cafe. I said, "You guys got any yams?" "No, we don't have any yams in Colombia." Oh man. What I'm gonna have to do is you know what I'm gonna do? Next time I come back to Colombia, I'm gonna bring me a can of yams with me. I'm gonna bring me a can of yams and put it in my suitcase. And then when I go to Sweet George's Cafe, I say, "Here, I got some yams. What y'all to cook them for me?" Yeah, I love me some yams, man. Yep. Yep, I do. You love me some yams. Let me see how many people. Yeah. Hey guys, I have a question to ask you before we get into the next part. Is Jill Jackson? Did they take down his YouTube channel? Hold on 1 second. Let me know. I'm gonna get something to drink. I'll be right back. Be right back. Did they take down his YouTube channel? Because I don't see it anymore. Let me see. Oh, okay. Let me see. This place called Big Boy Food. Okay, I'm gonna try that. Sevenita be having American game, but it's overly packed all the time. Oh wow, wow. Okay, I'm going to check that out. Yep, yeah, I heard about what happened to Skyler on Razor Rays. Yeah, yeah, they took down his channel too. Did they take down Jim Jackson's channel? I haven't seen it. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about, don't you? Did they take down his channel? Because I don't see it anymore. But I told you so. I told you so. I know they was going to take these channels down. Nobody listens to Tony Rome. Nobody listens. I said, Jimmy, why do you put? I told him, I said, Jimmy, why you put those nasty looking thumbnails on your channel? Why you put those nasty looking thumbnails on your channel? It's bad content, man. Every time he puts up a video, he shows a girl with her butt cheeks hanging out. I said, Jim, well, come on. Then you be talking about, well, you can see this on my what's the name of that? The pay part of YouTube. They have man, I'm losing my memory or something. What you have to pay to see certain content. That's hilarious. He does show some sites like places. Yeah, he does. He does. But I'm just talking about his thumbnails and some of the stuff he be putting up there. What's the name of that account? I mean, that you have to pay the people. It's like a special part that people, a lot of like Skylar and them have for you to be able to see certain things. What's the name of that? Oh my gosh, my memory is just like, y'all remember what I'm talking about? Patreon. Yeah. Oh, you can see this on Patreon if you get my Patreon account. I knew that was gonna happen. And YouTube is cracking. I said this before on Razor Ray's. I was on Razor Ray's channel the other day, and I said you guys gotta be careful of the content that you are putting out there, but they don't like it. They don't like it. Matter of fact, I seen someone else posted a video, a video about Colombia. And I'm not being self-righteous. I made mistakes before. But you look on any of my old videos, you don't see no bad looking thumbnails. You don't see no bad looking thumbnails on my channel. But there was one guy, he posted a video about Colombia versus Brazil or something like that. But on the thumbnail, he was sitting with a girl in a hot tub in his drawers. He was with a Colombian working girl in the hot tub, sitting up there in his drawers. He was sitting in a hot tub with a Colombian working girl in his drawers as a thumbnail. Easy, what's up, brother? Yeah, and then they talk about Venezuela is going to be the next passport bro heaven. No, it's not. But I knew this was coming to Jill Jackson, though. I knew it. But he's very smart, though. He's very smart. I'm not hating on this brother at all. He knows South America extremely well. He knows how to move. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But I say, man, why? I say, you have a. I tried to reach out to him. I say, Jill, you have a. You're very smart. He knows the language very well. He knows how to interact with the girls very well. He goes to those hikes very well. He shows a lot of good scenery. But all that bad thumbnails is messing him up. He says, good in the hood, easy. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, he should have been like Ace of Second Effect. Absolutely, right. Right. I mean, every time he posts a video, we got a girl with a butt, big old booty out, and he got his finger pointing at the booty, Come on, bro. Bro, come on. Come on. Oh, yes, you can see some action on my Patreon. Oh, man. But I knew it was coming. And YouTube is cracking down on sexually explicit videos. There was a guy that got put out of South Korea, African dude, was dating South Korean women and talking about if you want to see more on my page. They kicked him out. They saw what he was doing down there and they kicked him out. And I think YouTube took his channel down on top of that. I'm not what I'm trying to say, there is nothing wrong with having fun. Nothing wrong. If you hook up with a working girl, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? If you go down there to have fun, that type of fun, mongering and things like that, that's on you. But why do you have to publish it? Why did you have to put it on YouTube and Instagram? Why do everybody have to see that? Why? You don't have to do that. That's between you and that young lady, who you hook up with, like the guy that was in the hot tub sitting there in his drawers with the working girl. He put that as the first as his thumbnail. I was like, oh my God. And see, these guys don't realize. They don't realize that people are watching you. Let's see. First guest was Johnny Somali. Yeah, Johnny Somali, he really messed up. And he's still in jail too. Let me see. Marcus said, your sex life is your own sex life. This is important. Absolutely, you're right. Uh-oh. Those distracted sadly are proven right. Yeah. And Peso Man and Ask Nathaniel and Ray Cadero. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let me see what else here. I want to miss anybody. Yeah, you're right. Jill Jackson be traveling around. He does. He goes to Colombia, Chile, DR, Coast. Yeah, he does a very good job. He does a very good job. So I'm not saying nothing negative about this brother. But he just put the wrong content up there, and he promotes it, especially and especially what's happening now with all this stuff that's going on with the visa restrictions and all this stuff. They gonna really be picky now. They are going to really be picky now. They're gonna really be picky. Yeah, why expose yourself? Absolutely. Yeah, you're right, Chris. He's a smart guy. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But he talks too much about mongering too much. I said, Gio, talk about what you just, I mean, talk about the sceneries and stuff that you go to. He be showing some very good sceneries. He shows some very good sceneries. He does. He goes for those, I think there's one place he went to Panama. He was there. And he was talking about the dating culture in Panama. He went to Costa Rica. He does a good job. He really knows how to handle himself very well. But I just didn't want to see him lose his channel. You know what I'm saying? Because I know YouTube is cracking down, and these governments are cracking down. Because when I was in Colombia, I asked the local, I said, what do you guys think about the passport bros? Let me see. I said, what do you think about the passport bros? And they said that the passport bros is trash tourism. That's exactly what came out of their mouth. I didn't say it. They the ones that said it. I said, what do you mean trash tourism? What do you mean by that? Because some of the people at the hotel, at the resort I stayed, they know how to speak English too. I said, what do you mean by trash tourism? He said they never talk about the coffee, they never talk about the plantations, they never talk about the culture, they never talk about the museums, they never talk about the food. Only thing they talk about sex, 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 sex. It's like you turn Colombia into a flop house. A flop house. Man, you want some sex? Go down to Colombia, you can get it. That's what they think how we respect their country. Let me see what Mr. Marcus said. When it comes to women, respect women. Always remember to listen. Listening ear always runs into a running mouth. Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Marcus. You are right. Sadly, some of the PPP channels were selling dreams and women only. Nothing about families, meeting people, and social circles. Yeah, yeah, because when I go, I have a really good time. I go to the malls, the restaurants, the supermarkets. I have a good time. I don't even talk about that type of stuff about mongering and how easy sex is and all that type of stuff. But I knew it was coming. And then Skyler, the last video he put out, I saw was he was talking about that Brazil is done. The passport bro ruined it. I'm coming back to live in my mama's basement. But then, but then Skyler turned around and said, let him know if anybody's going to Brazil, we can live in his apartment. And I got these women that you can call anytime you want to on his phone. I thought that was kind of weird. What are you talking about? I'm in Brazil? You crazy? And he put that right on his channel. And then he talks about the Patreon thing on his channel. If you want to see more, watch my Patreon. Watch my Patreon. And he doesn't realize that you got people from the embassies, you got people from government that watch YouTube. They watch these channels, man. And so far, our reputation in Brazil and in Colombia and in Thailand is not good. It's not. It's not good. But Ace, he changed his way too because Ace was a little out there at first. I remember when he first started. But he changed. He changed. Somebody must have talked to him. Second Effect is doing a really good job too. You never see him in jacuzzis with women or talking about if you want to see more, look at my Patreon account. No, you never see that from Second Effect. You never see that from him. You know, he's very respectful on his channel. Very respectful. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the phone with the 500 numbers. I'm going to come to Brazil, live in your used to be your apartment, and you got a phone laying there on the desk. If I want some action, well, shoot, no, you crazy. That is crazy. And I'm sure when the Brazilians heard that, they was like, mm-mm. But YouTube is cracking down on that stuff, man. They are taking people's channels off with no warning. No warning. They're just going after, whoop, channel's gone. You violated the community guidelines. Yeah, yeah, it's expensive. It's getting expensive everywhere. It's gonna get worse, man. As the dollar go down, it's gonna be crazy, man. Things out here is getting ready to get really, really crazy. I've asked you guys if you guys want to travel, you better travel now while you have a chance. Because when the economic collapse happens, it's going to come. Let me tell you something. I got something I want you guys to hear. But America is going through a phase right now where it's trying to save itself. Grabbing Greenland, grabbing Venezuela, grabbing Canada, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Let me tell you something. I'm not trying to sound religious, guys. I just want to give you guys. Hey, I do ask a favor. I see there's over 13 people in this live. Everybody right now, like and subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, I need your support. If you want to know more about, how to prepare for the economic collapse, join my membership. It's only $2.99 a month, okay? And this will help to tell, because what I really want to do is, too, it's going to help you, it's going to help us all, it's going to help everybody. I want to expand this channel, too. I want to expand it. I want to get StreamYard back, you know. But I need y'all support, okay? I think my membership to join is like $2.99 a month. Less than a cup of coffee a month. You'll be giving 20 Ron a cup of coffee every month when I come on here, okay? I appreciate that, y'all. Yeah, but you better travel now while you have a chance. Because things are getting ready to change. When Trump go for Greenland, that's when stuff is going to really get nasty. Stuff is going to really get nasty. And I heard that they might be trying to attack Iran. And the supreme leader of Iran, he said that'd be the worst mistake you ever made. I heard that Iran has over how many of that? Over 6,000 ballistic missiles, I heard. Over 6,000 ballistic missiles. But the part that you guys need to be ready for, and that's why I tell you to join my membership, is that I told you what stocks to invest in. I gave you some ideas about buying gold. I told you how to position, because what's going to happen is 167,000 people, savings, everything is going to be wiped out when the economic collapse happens. Yep, and you're not going to be able to leave. You're absolutely right, Jay. Is America's trying to prevent people from leaving overall, and the YouTube channels are a little part of it. Yep. Because once the economic collapse happens, when the reset happens, whatever is going to happen, people are going to be trying to leave. People will be trying to go. But they're going to shut your passport down. You're not going to be able to go anywhere. You're going to be stuck here. Everything I've told you guys is the truth. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything like that. I'm just giving you the truth. What's going to happen and what's to come. Yeah, make sure y'all keep hitting that like button for me, okay? But we are in the first phases of a declining empire. American empire is in decline. But this is a cycle that most empires go through. I think we had the reserve currency for more than 70 or 80 years. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yep. Matter of fact, I know a couple that has a channel, and they be talking about the same thing, brother. I got something I want y'all to hear before y'all go. Like and subscribe. Enjoy my membership, guys. I really appreciate it. The YouTube channel on my channel have joined. Hit join, and we're going to build wealth. And when this happens, we be in a good position where it won't wipe us out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I read. Yeah, I heard about the protests and everything that's going on in Iran. You know what I'm saying? But they was able to beat. All that protest and stuff was going on over there. But I think that they're getting ready to attack Iran. If they attack Iran, only thing Iran would do, a lot of things they could do. They are very well prepared for retaliation if anything like that happens. And if they shut down the port of Hormuz, the Strait of Hormuz, you're gonna see oil prices go way up. And see, this is when the wealth building comes in because even though, see what I'm trying to tell you all, even though there's gonna be a lot of hot things going on, but there gonna be people that's going to make money off this stuff too. You see what I'm saying? So we want to be in an area where we can make money from this stuff, from disadvantages. Unfortunately, there's disadvantages. There's profit to be made in disadvantages too. Okay? I want you guys to listen to this. It's very important. This professor was giving an analysis on how all this is going to happen. And he predicts that these things can happen between now and 2026. 2026. Easy is not what you think. I talked to you on the other side about that, but it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Here we go, guys.
127 million Americans are about to lose everything they own. Not might lose, will lose. And most of them have no idea it's coming. Right now, as you're watching this, the United States federal government is sitting on $36.2 trillion in debt. That's trillion with a T. That number just crossed a threshold that has never in human history been crossed without catastrophic consequences. We hit this number in January 2025, and the trajectory is accelerating faster than at any point since World War II. But here's what nobody's telling you. This isn't new. This isn't unprecedented. This isn't some unique crisis that just emerged. This is a pattern that has repeated itself exactly 27 times across the last 2,000 years of recorded economic history.
You see what I'm saying? This happened before. So America is just another empire that's going to go through the same thing all the rest of the other empires went through. This happened before. This happened before, many, many times before. And you see the cycle happen.
And every single time, without exception, the outcome was the same. Total wealth destruction for the majority. Massive wealth transfer to those who understood what was happening. And a complete restructuring of the economic order. We are now in stage 3 of this pattern. There is one stage left. And what I'm about to show you will change how you see everything happening in America right now. Everything you think you know about the economy, about your savings, about your retirement, it's all about to be challenged. Because history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes perfectly. Let me show you the mechanism. Every economic collapse in history follows this.
Let me see. Okay. Tony, have you heard about the ISO speed 20 countries in Africa? Yeah. This video looked good. They are making a big deal of a few people throwing water bottles at him in Algeria, but good overall life. Yeah, he does very good live stream. Yes, he does. iSpeed, yes, he does. Yes, I did see that, sir. Let me see. But my 84 channels is saying that the same thing. Let it fall. Don't be scared of this, but prepare. That's why I'm doing the wealth building community, guys. because we need to get prepared for what's coming. Okay? We need to get prepared. I wish I would have known, be able to tell you guys about this 15 years ago.
Same four-stage pattern. It doesn't matter if we're talking about ancient Rome, Weimar Germany, or the United States in 2025. The pattern is identical. The players change. The technology changes, the propaganda changes, but the mathematical reality underneath, always the same. Stage one is the foundation. A nation or empire establishes a stable currency system. People trust it. Commerce flourishes. Wealth accumulates. Trade expands.
Mm-hmm.
Everything seems solid, permanent, unshakable. This stage can last decades, even centuries. The longer it lasts, the more invincible it feels. The more people forget that it can end. Stage two is expansion and debasement. The government needs more money. Maybe it's war. Maybe it's massive social programs. Maybe it's corruption and incompetence. Doesn't matter. The reason is always different, but the mechanism is always the same. They can't raise taxes enough because the population will revolt, so they do something else. They debase the currency. They print more money. They borrow against future generations who can't vote yet.
And that's what the phase that we are right now is that we keep borrowing money, we keep printing money, keep printing money. It's like we at a death spiral. They call it the economic death spiral. Let me see, hold on before I continue. I think Speed was in Morocco today. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Yeah, I seen this video. I seen the video of him, I think it was in Algeria. Yes. Easy, they do not want is economic relief from the United States sanctions. Reason why the country is so poor is because the United States. Yeah, yeah. Ruff, my child, how you doing, sir? Welcome to my channel. Yeah, it's because America puts economic sanctions on everybody. But let me ask you a question about this economic sanctions thing. Why do see what the world's starting to say, especially in the global south with BRICS and everything that's starting to happen? Why do one person determines everything? How you trade or who you trade with or what you do? Why? Why do one person decides everything? If I don't agree with you, then I'm going to put sanctions on you. I'm going to stop you from from flourishing, or I'm going to stop you from doing trade with everybody or buying oil and stuff like that. See, the problem is the problem with Europe and the U.S. What they did, the mistake that they made, is they weaponized the monetary system. The monetary system wasn't meant to be weaponized. I'm doing very well, sir. Thank you for coming. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, brother. I hope you enjoyed the content, man.
First, nobody notices. In fact, the economy even seems to boom. Credit flows everywhere. Asset prices soar. Stock markets hit record highs. Real estate goes parabolic. Everyone feels richer on paper. But it's an illusion. It's all an illusion built on expanding currency supply. Stage three is loss of control. The debt becomes mathematically unpayable, not politically difficult to pay, impossible. The numbers don't work anymore. Inflation starts creeping in, then crawling, then running, then sprinting. The government prints more money to service the existing debt. This creates more inflation, which requires more printing.
Yep.
A feedback loop begins that cannot be stopped through policy alone. Currency confidence starts cracking. Smart money, people with real wealth and understanding, they start moving into hard assets, gold, silver, land, productive businesses, anything that can.
And see, that's what we talk about on the wealth building. We talk about gold, silver, creating tangible assets. That's what we're going to have to do, okay? Because like I said, most people is not prepared for what's getting ready to happen. They're not. They're not prepared.
Not be printed into existence. The government tries desperately to maintain control through price controls, capital controls, propaganda campaigns, manipulation of statistics. It never works. It has never worked once in history. Stage four is the inevitable outcome: currency collapse. Either hyperinflation where your
Absolutely,
money becomes
Chris.
wallpaper, or massive deflation through default where the system just seizes up and dies. Savings evaporate overnight, pensions vanish. The middle class, the productive backbone of society, gets completely destroyed. Wealth concentrates massively in the hands of those few who positioned correctly before the collapse. Then a new system emerges from the ashes, and the cycle begins again. This pattern is not a theory. It's not a prediction or a guess. It's not something economists debate. It's a historical law as reliable as
Absolutely.
gravity. And I'm going to prove it to you right now with three.
Absolutely, Rough Model. You're right. Right. Make sure you join my membership. I have a wealth building membership here on this channel. You just go on the YouTube membership, just join my YouTube membership and join my community on WhatsApp. And believe me, we're doing the members do I do have on there. We're doing a very good job. And there were people on there that shared a lot of good information. We need to know this. We need to know this. Okay, because like I said, 127 million people is going to be wiped out when the economic collapse. It's going to happen. I can't tell you it's going to happen tomorrow. I can't tell you it's going to happen today. I can't tell you it's going to happen next week. Will it happen? Yes. Would a lot of people get wiped out? Yes.
Undeniable examples spanning 2,000 years. Let's start with Rome. The year is 64 AD. Rome is the most powerful empire on Earth. The denarius, their silver coin, is the global reserve currency of the ancient world. It contains 95% pure silver. Everyone trusts it. Merchants in Britain, Egypt, Spain, Mesopotamia, they all accept it. Trade across 3 continents runs on it. The foundation seems unbreakable. Stage 1, foundation, check. Then the expensive wars begin. Nero needs money, lots of it. He's building palaces, hosting games, keeping the population pacified with bread and circuses. He can't tax the population enough without causing revolt, and so he does something clever. He reduces the silver content of the denarius from 95% to 90%, just 5% less, then to 85%. Nobody really notices because the coin still looks the same, still feels.
What he's explaining right now is the fall of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire used to be the strongest empire ever. But he's explaining how over time, how the Roman Empire, how it fell, basically,
The same. Still has the imperial seal on it. This continues for generations.
generations.
Emperor after emperor, war after war, each one debasing a little more. By 217 AD, under Emperor Caracalla, the denarius is only 50% silver. Half the coin is now base metal. By 270 AD, less than 5%. The coin is basically worthless bronze with a silver coating that rubs off in your pocket. Stage 2, debasement, check. Now here's where it gets interesting. What happened to prices during this time? In 1 AD, a pound of gold could buy you about 40 pounds of wheat, a reasonable, stable ratio. By 300 AD, that same pound of.
The price of gold is constantly going up, man. The price of gold. And I shared with you guys on my wealth building video a company that's constantly going up, man. It's doing extremely well. It's doing extremely well. So we talk about physical gold, and we talk about investing in companies that mine gold and mine rare earth elements.
Gold bought you 120,000 pounds of wheat. Read that again. 120,000 pounds. That's not because gold suddenly became more valuable. Gold doesn't change. It's because the currency became worthless. Inflation went exponential. Prices doubled, then doubled again, then doubled again. The government tried price controls under Emperor Diocletian in 301 AD, the Edict on Maximum Prices. It mandated the death penalty for merchants who charged more than the official government prices. They literally executed people for charging market rates. Did it work? Of course not. It made things catastrophically worse. Goods disappeared from markets entirely. Why would a farmer bring grain to the city to sell at controlled prices when he could barely cover his costs? Black markets exploded. The formal economy seized up. People stopped producing. Cities started emptying as people fled back to subsistence farming. Stage 3, loss of control, check. By 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire collapsed entirely. Not from barbarian invasions primarily, The invasions happened because the empire was already dead economically. The currency system disintegrated completely.
Can you see the correlation between what's happening here and what happened in the Roman Empire? Did you listen to what he's saying?
Economies reverted to pure barter. No coins, no banks, no complex trade. Cities that had 1 million people shrank to a few thousand. Trade collapsed. The aqueducts fell into disrepair. Roads crumbled. It took Europe 1,000 years to recover the level of economic sophistication and living standards that Rome had achieved.
Wow.
Stage 4, inevitable outcome, check. And here's the part nobody talks about. The Roman middle class, the merchants, the traders, the small landowners, the backbone of the empire, was completely wiped out. Every single one. Their savings in debased currency became worthless. Their government pensions vanished. Their economic security disappeared. But some people got rich. Anyone who understood the pattern early. Anyone who moved their wealth out of currency and into land, into gold, into productive assets before the collapse. When the dust settled, they owned everything. The land, the remaining infrastructure, the power. Sound familiar yet? We're just getting started. Fast forward to 1914, Germany. One of the most advanced industrial nations on earth. Sophisticated banking system, strong manufacturing base. The papier mark is stable, trusted, backed by the gold standard. People have saving.
So you guys understand how the system, how it's like a cycle that happens over and over again. And it's been happening like way over 200 years ago, thousands of years ago. Empires go up, empires goes down. Empires goes up, empires goes down.
Retirements, plans for the future. Then World War I happens. The war costs money, unbelievable amounts of money. Germany can't tax enough to pay for it without destroying the economy during wartime. So they borrow, and they print. They tell themselves it's temporary. Once we win the war, we'll pay it all back with reparations from the conquered nations. Stage 1 ends the moment that printing press starts running in 1914. The war ends in 1918. Germany loses. The Treaty of Versailles demands reparations. 132 billion gold marks. An impossible sum, more than Germany's entire GDP. The Allies want to ensure Germany can never rise again. Germany can't pay in gold because they don't have it. So they pay in paper. They print marks, trillions of them, quadrillions of them, numbers that had never been seen before in human history. In 1918, 4.2 marks bought $1. By November 1923, 5 years later, it took 4.2 trillion marks to buy $1. Let that sink in for a moment. Trillion. That's a 1 followed by 12 zeros. That's a million. A loaf of bread that cost 250 marks in January 1923 cost 200 billion marks by November of the same year. Workers demand.
Now he's talking about hyperinflation. When your currency becomes devalued, it takes more money to buy certain things, you know what I'm saying? Like bread and stuff like that. That's what happened in Germany.
To be paid twice a day. They'd rush out at lunch to spend the morning's wages before they lost half their value by dinner. Families needed wheelbarrows full of cash to buy basic groceries. Children used stacks of worthless billion-mark notes as building blocks because they were worth less than actual toys. Stage 2 and Stage 3 happened in less than 5 years. Compressed, accelerated, catastrophic. The government tried everything. Price controls, capital controls, rationing. Propaganda campaigns telling people the economy was fundamentally strong and the crisis was temporary. They blamed foreign speculators. They blamed profiteers. They blamed everyone except their own currency printing. None of it worked. Not one single intervention. The middle class was annihilated completely. Life savings that took 3 generations to build became worthless overnight. A retirement account that could have bought a house in 1922 couldn't buy a loaf of bread in 1923.
Wow.
Pensions became jokes. Bank accounts became toilet paper, literally. But here's what most people don't know, what they don't teach you in school. Some people got extraordinarily rich during Weimar. Anyone who understood the pattern moved their wealth into hard assets before the collapse accelerated.
Right.
Real estate, gold, foreign currency, productive businesses that made actual goods. When the dust settled and the new currency was introduced, they owned everything. The factories, the land, the buildings. They bought Germany for pennies. Stage 4, complete restructuring, verified. And you know what came next? Political extremism, social chaos. Middle class destruction created the conditions for the rise of the Nazi Party. Economic collapse doesn't just destroy wealth, it destroys societies, it destroys trust, it destroys the social fabric. And into that vacuum, extremism flows.
I hope you guys listening to this. It's very important.
Or a century ago. Let's talk about Venezuela right now. Our current era, the year 2000. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves in the...
Okay, he's getting ready to talk about Venezuela now. And this will clear up a lot of stuff that I've been telling you guys about Venezuela.
Entire world, larger than Saudi Arabia. The economy is growing. The bolivar is stable and trusted. People have jobs, savings, hope for the future. Venezuela is supposed to be the success story of South America. Stage one, foundation, solid. Then Hugo Chavez comes to power in 1999. Social programs expand massively. Government spending explodes. But oil prices are high, so it works for a while. Money is flowing in from oil exports. Everything seems sustainable. But oil
Right.
prices don't stay high forever. Markets are cyclical. By 2013, oil revenues start dropping. The government needs money to maintain the social programs that keep them in power. They can't cut spending without losing political support and facing.
And see, this is what the see, this is what I was talking about on my last video. The Venezuelan people need to do their homework and their research stuff. Okay, he's going to tell you exactly why Venezuela is in the position that it was in, and it's not what you think. It's really not what you think.
Potential revolution. So they print and they
Right
borrow.
there.
They tell the population everything is fine. The problems are temporary, caused by foreign interference. By 2016, inflation hits 800%. The government denies there's a problem. They implement price controls. They blame merchants for hoarding goods. They call it economic warfare by American imperialism. Classic stage 3 behavior, textbook responses that have never worked. By 2018, inflation hits 65,000%. By 2019, 10 million percent. Let me put that in perspective so your brain can actually process it. A cup of coffee that cost 450 bolivars in 2016 cost 3 million bolivars in 2019. 3 years, 3 million percent. The minimum wage became so worthless that people literally earned more money recycling the bills as scrap paper than using them as currency. Think about that. The paper was worth more than the number printed on it. Doctors abandoned their practices. Lawyers closed their offices. Engineers left their projects.
So
Why?
now he's talking
Because they could
about.
earn more selling fruit on the street
So
corner
he's
than.
talking about the hyperinflation that Venezuela went through. They went through hyperinflation. Hyperinflation happens when the government constantly prints a lot of money. So what happens is that the money that you have becomes devalued more and more and more as more money that they print. That's what happened in Venezuela. So you print all this money, you can get if your currency becomes, let's say, like I said, you have $100,000 in the bank, right? Let's say $100,000 can buy you a house. But then when your currency becomes devalued, then that $100,000 no longer can buy you a house. Maybe you could buy a loaf of bread with that $100,000. That's how bad the value had the currency in Venezuela had devalued. And plus, you put all the economic sanctions and things that they went through.
Or mining Bitcoin than practicing their profession. Millions fled the country, the largest refugee crisis in the Western Hemisphere. Those who stayed watched their life savings, their parents' savings, their grandparents' legacy, all of it disappear like
Disappear.
smoke. Stage 4, total collapse, undeniable. But again, and this is crucial, some people saw it coming. Anyone who converted their bolivars into US dollars, Bitcoin, or gold before 2015 preserved their wealth.
Yeah, absolutely, Morgan. Yeah, matter of fact, you just got finished talking about the German economy, about when they lost the war. And then they owed money more than their complete GDP. So they just print tons and tons and tons of money. Absolutely. Oh, thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gift, man. Anything, a gift or a super chat, anything really helps this small channel. Thank you so much, Morgan. Thank you. You are the best, brother. I love you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Mm. But that's what happened. What I'm trying to do establish on this channel is that we gotta leave. And the only way you're gonna leave if you have money to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because what you see what's happening here is going to get much worse. And then it's going to get to a point whereas whatever it is that you try to do to leave to get out, you're not going to be able to get out. Because I told you about what's going on with things going on with the visa process stuff. This is crazy, man.
Everyone else lost everything. Not some of it, everything. Now here's where your attention needs to
Thank you,
sharpen,
Mr.
because
Morgan.
we're applying this exact pattern to the United States.
Mr. Morgan, people don't listen to me. They don't. I can sit here and talk about girls. I can tell you about, you know, oh, how bad this chick is in Colombia. I can sit here and tell you all this stuff all day long. Don't get me wrong. I do travel. I do go and have fun. There's gonna be content I'm gonna do. Like I showed you guys before. That was with Cookie. We went shopping. You can look at my YouTube shorts. Look at my YouTube shorts. I do have a good time. But the thing is, I just want us to be prepared for what's coming. Because everything I predicted, it comes true. Everything I predict. I knew that Jim Jackson was going to lose his YouTube channel. I knew. I said, if he doesn't stop putting those nasty looking thumbnails on his content, then they're going to take his content down. And he's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. He shows beautiful sceneries and stuff in Costa Rica and the Dominican Republic, and he's very smart. But he's his own worst enemy.
In 2225. Stage 1, foundation. The US dollar became the global reserve currency after World War II.
Okay, listen, guys.
Established it in 1944.
Okay, listen, he's getting ready to tell you about like I said, in 1944, the US dollar became the reserve currency. Okay? The reserve currency, okay? Matter of fact, in the 1980s, the dollar was referred to as the king dollar, and it was. Because we created all those partnerships with Saudi Arabia about the petrodollar and everything back in the 1980s, 1979, you know. But watch what happens.
Decades, it was backed by gold at $35 per ounce.
Yeah, it was backed by gold.
Anchored to reality, the foundation of global trade and commerce. Check. But in 1971, President Nixon ended the gold standard. He closed the gold window.
Yeah.
From that moment forward, the dollar became a pure fiat currency, backed by nothing except government decree and global trust. No gold, no silver, no commodity. Just paper and promises. That's when stage 2 began. And most people don't realize this. 1971 is the inflection point. From that moment, the printing started in earnest. In 1971,
we left the girl, brother here, Morgan Channel said, I've been studying the bloody citizen for years, and how it really works. It's crazy to me how other work people, yeah, it's crazy to me because I did a video on Lynette Zhang, and make sure everybody join my membership. Please join the membership. I just put out a video on Lynette Zhang day before yesterday, and some of y'all saw the video, okay? I remember I've been listening to Lynette Zhang back in 2018, 2017, okay? And I remember back then that gold was $500 an ounce. I remember. And she said that gold was going to quadruple its value back then. If I would have listened to her and purchased physical gold at $500 an ounce, let's say I just would have took $20,000 and bought $20,000 worth of gold if it's $500 an ounce. My retirement would have been paid for. And she was absolutely right. Now you fast forward to all the way to 2025. Now gold is worth $4,500 an ounce. It went from $500 to $4,500 an ounce. But people's unaware. That's why you people out here. Let me tell you something. What I saw the other day. I was going to the supermarket here in Detroit, right? I'm seeing this more and more, and I'm not trying to fear monger. I'm just telling you guys the truth. I'm not trying to fear monger. But there's a section when you walk into the store. We have Myers. I don't know if y'all have a Myers superstore. I mean, a store like that in wherever place that you live. But I live in Detroit, and we have like a couple of Myers stores in Detroit. There's a place when you walk inside the store where you sit for the ride share. People go there. There's a spot that you sit. That you wait for your Uber or you wait for your cab. Some people use transportation to shop or to be taken back home. When they go grocery shopping. Some people don't have cars. They rely on ride share or cabs to take them home. I walked through there the other day, and there are more and more and more homeless people is using that spot because they have absolutely nowhere to go. And this is what you're going to start seeing in the economic collapse. People are getting laid off. People are losing their jobs. When you lose your job, the bills don't stop. The temperature outside right now where I stay, the temperature is 9 degrees. And with the wind chill factor of 13, probably to 12 below zero. Outside right now. And guess what? If you don't pay, you can't stay. They don't care. They don't care nothing about you. If you can't pay, they will kick you out in the cold right now. They will kick you out. You'll be with those people at Myers in that area, the rideshare area where they have nowhere to go. That's why economics is so freaking important, especially what's coming.
U.S. federal debt was $398 billion. Today, January 2025, it's $36.2 trillion. That's a 9,000% increase. The money supply has exploded beyond anything Rome or Weimar ever achieved.
Wow.
M2 money supply has gone from 600 billion in 1971 to over 21 trillion today. But here's the key thing that makes America's situation unique. For decades, this didn't cause obvious domestic inflation. Why? Because the U.S. exported its inflation to the rest of the world.
Right.
Every country that needed to buy oil had to buy dollars first.
Mm-hmm.
Every country conducting international trade needed dollar reserves. Every central bank held dollars as their reserve asset. The U.S. could print, and the entire world absorbed the inflation.
Mm-hmm.
This is the privilege, the exorbitant privilege
of
having the reserve currency.
The reserve currency, absolutely.
Monetary problems to everyone else for a while. But that privilege is ending right now. As you're watching this, stage 2, debasement, verified beyond any doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're entering stage 3, and this is where it gets terrifying. The debt is mathematically unpayable. We're not talking about politically difficult.
And that's why you see what's happening today, because they know financially they're in trouble. So what do empires do when they're in trouble? They grab assets. They grab land. They grab Greenland. They grab Venezuela. They grab anything that they can grab. But the sad thing is, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
About impossible, the U.S. government paid over $1.1 trillion just in interest payments in 2024. That's more than the entire defense budget. More than we spend on education, infrastructure, and science combined. To service this debt, the government has 3 options. Only 3. Option 1, raise taxes dramatically, politically impossible. The population would revolt. Option 2, cut spending dramatically. Also politically impossible. Every program has a constituency that will fight to the death to protect it. Option 3, print more money. Guess which one they're choosing? Guess which one they will always choose? Inflation has already started accelerating. Real inflation, not the manipulated consumer price index numbers the government publishes. Housing costs are up 47% since 2020. Food costs up 31% since 2020. Energy costs volatile but trending higher.
Yep.
Insurance costs up 38%. Healthcare up 26%.
Yep.
And the government's response? More spending.
More spending.
Inflation Reduction Act, which actually increased spending. More debt. The debt ceiling gets raised every single time it's hit. More printing. The Federal Reserve's balance sheet is still at historically unprecedented levels. The Federal Reserve tried to fight inflation with interest rate hikes in 2022 and 2023. But here's the trap. The debt is so massive now that high interest rates break the system. Banks started failing in 2023. Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, First Republic. Markets crashed. The government had to step in with bailouts. So the Fed was forced to pause the hikes and is now cutting rates again, which means resuming monetary expansion. This is the classic stage 3 trap. Exactly what happened in Rome.
Right.
Exactly what happened in Weimar. Exactly what happened in Venezuela. The government has lost control of the currency system. They can't raise rates without breaking the economy and the banking system. They can't lower rates without accelerating inflation. They're trapped in a vice of their own creation. There is no policy solution that works. None. And here's the part that should make your blood run cold. The de-dollarization has begun. China and Russia are conducting bilateral trade in yuan and rubles. Saudi Arabia, our oldest Middle East ally, is now accepting yuan for oil sales.
Right.
The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, are actively developing alternative payment systems to bypass the dollar. They're creating their own SWIFT alternative.
You see what's happening? They created their own monetary systems now. You got BRICS, Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa. You got all these countries now are de-dollarizing because they see what is coming. They see what's coming.
Central banks globally are buying gold at record rates. Over 1,000 tons in 2023.
Yes,
alone.
lots of gold
Why?
being bought in central
Because
banks.
they see what's coming.
Yes.
They're reading the same historical pattern I just showed you. When the world stops absorbing dollars, when international trade no longer requires dollar reserves, all that printed currency comes flooding back to the United States.
Right.
That's when domestic hyperinflation begins. That's when stage 3 accelerates into stage 4.
Absolutely.
Stage 3, loss of control. Check. We are here, right now. Now let me tell you exactly what those 127 million Americans are about to lose. That number represents every American household whose wealth is primarily in dollar-denominated assets that can be...
Make sure, the guys that you are on here, pay attention to this part here. This is extremely, extremely important. Make sure you listen to this part right here, what he's getting ready to tell you. About the 160 million people is going to be wiped out. The savings, the 401ks, everything is going to be gone. Okay? It's going to be or either devalued, maybe at 60 or 70%. But he's getting ready to explain it right now. So I want y'all, the ones that remain here, to pay attention to this. This is very important.
Inflated away. That's roughly 40% of American households. Savings accounts, bonds, fixed pensions, cash value life insurance, Social Security promises that are paid in future devalued dollars, money market accounts, certificates of deposit, treasury bonds, all of it denominated in dollars that are being systematically devalued. When stage 4 hits, and it will hit, here's what happens.
Here we go.
If we get hyperinflation like Weimar or Venezuela, your $100,000 in savings might still say $100,000 in your bank account. The number doesn't change, but it'll buy what 5,000 buys today, or 500, or 50. Your purchasing power evaporates while the nominal number stays the same. If we get deflationary collapse through default, like what almost happened in 2008, but 100 times worse, your bonds become worthless. Your pension fund goes bankrupt because it's holding government bonds that defaulted. Your bank fails because it's holding mortgage-backed securities and treasuries that collapsed. Either way, hyperinflation or deflation, the middle class gets destroyed. Your retirement account that was supposed to last 20 years lasts 2. Your kid's college fund doesn't cover 1 semester. Your parents' pension doesn't cover their rent. Just like Rome, just like Weimar, just like Venezuela, the pattern is absolute. The mathematics are absolute. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. I can hear the objections forming in your mind, but this time is different. America is too powerful to fail. We have the world's strongest military. We have nuclear weapons. We have Silicon Valley. We have innovation.
Right.
Technology will save us. Let me destroy these myths right now because they're dangerous. They're the same myths every civilization told itself before collapse.
Yep.
Myth one, this time is different. No, it's not. It never is. Every civilization thought they were different. Rome thought their empire was eternal, ordained by the gods, destined to rule forever. The Germans in 1920 thought they were too advanced, too educated, too sophisticated for currency collapse. The Venezuelans thought they had too much oil, too many natural resources to fail. The pattern doesn't care about your technology. It doesn't care about your military. It doesn't care about your confidence or your exceptionalism or your innovations. It only cares about mathematics. When debt exceeds the ability to repay, when currency printing exceeds productive economic growth, the currency fails.
That's very good, Morgan. You said my mortgage is set amount. If hyperinflation hits, it does right. And make sure whatever you do, the debt, pay the house, the mortgage, get rid of it. Get rid of it, okay? Get rid of that debt. Everybody get rid of it. And let me tell you another debt that's really horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. It's credit card debt. Do not allow yourself to get caught up in credit card debt. Credit card debt on the interest. Yeah, you said, bro, yeah, it will be $100. Yeah, yes. Yeah, it's gonna be. Let me tell you something, man. When this economic collapse happened, now you guys are seeing all these videos of ICE and everybody out there in the street. Man, all these protests and stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Woo! Man, oh man. Only thing I say, please get prepared. Yeah, at least you know how to hunt. Yeah. Yep. I got a movie I want to let you guys should watch. The name of it is called Leave the World Behind. It's on Netflix. I think it's still there. Obama produced this movie. The name of the movie is called Leave the World Behind. Very good movie. Matter of fact, I may watch it after I do this live. I watched that movie at least about 3 times. Yeah. Name of it again is called Leave the World Behind. And I was when I looked at the credits of the movie, I said, why would Obama be putting out something like this? Because I'm going to tell you something, we have a lot of enemies right now, man. From South America all the way to Europe. Now Europe is really pissed off because we're going to talk about that in another live. But I'm going to finish this up for you guys, what he's saying.
This is mathematical law, not economic theory. Law. Myth. 2. The dollar is the reserve currency, so we're safe. This is the most dangerous myth of all. The reserve currency status is exactly what allows stage 2 to go on longer and get more extreme than it otherwise would. Britain could print more because the pound was the reserve currency, right up until it wasn't. Every reserve currency in history has eventually failed. The Roman denarius was the reserve currency of the ancient world. The Spanish real was the reserve currency in the 1500s. The Dutch guilder in the 1600s. The British pound in the 1800s and early 1900s. The average lifespan of a reserve currency is 94 years. The dollar has been the global reserve currency for 80 years since Bretton Woods. We're in the end game, the final chapter.
Yeah.
And when a reserve currency fails, it fails harder and faster than regular currencies because there's so much more of it in circulation globally. Myth 3. Technology and productivity will save us. Technology creates real wealth. Innovation drives productivity. This is true, but it cannot overcome monetary debasement. It can't. Weimar Germany had advanced technology for its time. They had precision engineering, chemical industries, scientific innovation. It didn't save them from hyperinflation. Technology creates real value. But when the government prints money faster than the economy can create value, the printing wins. Math wins. Right now, the US is adding debt faster than GDP is growing. $4 trillion in new debt last year. GDP grew maybe 2.5%. That's the definition of unsustainable. The
Mm-hmm.
math doesn't work. It cannot work. And math always wins in the end. Here's the bottom line. Everything I've shown you. The United States is following the exact same pattern that has destroyed 27 civilizations.
Absolutely the same.
Stage one, complete. The foundation was built with Bretton Woods and then abandoned in 1971 when Nixon closed the gold window. Stage two, complete. 54 years of continuous currency debasement and debt accumulation from 1971 to 2025. Stage three, in progress right now. Loss of control is happening as you watch this. The Fed is trapped. The government is trapped. The debt spiral is accelerating. Stage four, coming. The only question is timing. Will it be next year? 5 years? 10 years? I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody can know.
Right.
But the direction is absolutely certain. The mathematics guarantee it. The pattern demands it. So what do? How do you position yourself on the right side of this wealth transfer? First, understand that cash is not safety. Cash is not wealth. Cash is the thing being destroyed. Holding cash is like holding ice cubes in your hand. Every second you hold it, it melts a little more.
Absolutely.
Second, move wealth into hard assets.
Hard assets.
Into existence. Gold,
silver.
This
is what I've been telling you guys on my wealth building community. Get hard assets, things that you can control, things that you can own. That's what all y'all should be doing. Buying stuff that you can own and you control yourself.
Bitcoin, if you understand it. Real estate in desirable areas.
Yes.
Productive businesses that make actual goods and services people need.
Yes. Yeah, hard assets. There you go, Morgan.
Third, reduce your exposure to dollar-denominated promises.
Yes.
Long-term government bonds. Fixed pensions that can't adjust for inflation. Anything that depends on the government keeping its purchasing power promises 30 years from now.
Yes.
Increase your ability to produce real value. Learn skills. Build relationships.
Because when the economic collapse happens, there's going to be like a bartering system. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I'm very good in the medical field. I have a profession, right? You know, I know how to do a lot of things in medicine, right? And they say there's another person over there that is a plumber. You know what I'm saying? I say, hey, I'll help you out with your diabetes or whatever it is that you have going on with you. If you could come over and fix I have a leak in my faucet, you know, in my kitchen or something. That's called bartering. I hope I'm not, it's hard for me to speak with my voice being disabled, but it's called bartering. It's when I have something that you need, they have something that you need. And during an economic collapse, that's how a lot of people are going to be able to survive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you may say, well, hey, I make wine or whatever, and the other person say, hey, I have vegetables or fruit or something. Here, I have some vegetables for you. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's very important to own land and own gold and hard assets that you can barter between these things. Yeah. He said, barter will be the king for a while. Yes, it will. Yep.
Create community. When currencies collapse, people who can produce actual goods and services survive and thrive.
Yes.
Plumbers, electricians, mechanics, doctors, teachers, people with real skills. Those who only hold paper wealth and have no productive skills do not survive. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is historical pattern recognition. This is mathematics. This is seeing reality clearly instead of believing comfortable myths. 127 million Americans are about to learn what every previous civilization learned the hard way. You cannot print wealth. You can only print currency. And when the printing stops working, when confidence breaks, the currency wealth vanishes overnight. But it doesn't vanish into thin air. Nothing in economics just disappears. It transfers to those who understood the pattern, to those who positioned correctly.
And that's why my wealth building comes in. We're gonna be in the area whereas when this happened,
which side of this
that we're gonna prosper, okay?
The side that gets wiped out, or the side that survives and rebuilds? If this video opened your eyes, if this changed how you see what's happening,
yeah, they will go try, yeah, but still not gonna work
what I
though.
just showed you is only the beginning. In my next video, I'm going to reveal the exact 3-step system that the top 1%, the people who actually understand this pattern, are using right now to position for stage 4. The specific moves they're making while everyone else is watching sports and scrolling social media.
Yep.
The exact assets they're accumulating. the sectors they're moving into. And the one investment class that has survived every single currency collapse in human history without exception. You need to see it. You need to understand it. Because when stage 4 hits, when the currency crisis accelerates, it will be too late. There will be no time to reposition, no time to move assets, no time to learn. The people who survive currency collapses are the people who prepared before the crisis became obvious to everyone. Subscribe now so you don't miss it. Share this video with someone you care about, because the pattern is absolute. The outcome is inevitable. The mathematics cannot be negotiated with. The only variable in this equation is you, your knowledge, your preparation, your positioning. Choose wisely. The clock is ticking. Stage 3 is already in progress. Stage 4 is coming. History is repeating exactly as it always has. The only question is whether you'll be ready when it does.
When the entire foundation of a system starts to crack,
All right, there we go. Yeah. He said there are places to keep the system propped up, then they will try to introduce. Yeah, because I think he came out with something called stablecoin, but it still is not going to work, though. Not going to work. Nope, debt never goes away. It never goes away. No matter what they do, debt never goes away. Yep, so guys, I'm going to end this live stream. Morgan, thank you very much for your gifts. Thank you guys again. I hope I said something to help you, to encourage you, to keep you going, to get yourselves ready. And I just pray, I hope to make it to Colombia, again, it's getting more and more challenging to travel. You know what I'm saying? And my goal is to be there in May. I do want to see my friend. I really miss my friend very, very much. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button. Okay, hit the like button. And make sure you join the YouTube membership. And with all my members, we meet on the WhatsApp Wealth Building Community. And we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this, man. We're going to get ourselves into a position of when the economic collapse, that we will be prepared, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not fearmongering anybody. But will this happen? Yes. When it happen, I can tell you, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be a year from now, it could be 3 years from now, it could be 4 years from now, it could be 5 years from now. I don't know. But just as surely as I'm sitting in this chair, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But the thing is, will you be prepared when it does happen? Okay? Because we were talking about 167 million people is going to lose everything. Everything's going to, just like that. Let me tell you this before I go. For those of you that stayed to listen to the whole video, I remember back when COVID first started, okay? And I work in the healthcare field. And I remember, one thing I did remember before COVID finally hit it, that there was people was dying of a mysterious illness, but we didn't know it. Because don't forget, I've been in the healthcare field for a long time. But we just didn't quite know what it was. We knew something was happening, but we didn't know exactly what it was. And I remember someone saying they were in Thailand, or I think they was in Thailand, and they noticed that it was a very funny virus that was going around. People was getting sick. And next thing you know it, the World Health Organization said that we have a pandemic. And I will forget that. No, it's all else. And when it finally broke, when it finally happened, they turned areas of the hospital I work into a triage unit. And I remember it just came so sudden, so fast. And the next thing I know, I was out by the emergency room. We set up a triage. I had on a biohazard suit on to cover my face, cover my body. I had these special gloves on, everything. And there were cars lined, wrapped around the hospital. And I had this board in my hand, and they were just asking about what type of symptoms and things are you having. It was like, I will never forget this. It was like something out of a science fiction movie. It was like something out of a science, like outbreak or something like that. So I'm looking around like, how, I'm just standing there, like, how did this happen? Nobody was prepared for this. It came just like that. Economic collapse is going to happen the same way. It's going to be bam. People look around like, oh, what happened? What's going on? You know, so that's why it's important to get prepared, for when these things happen. Okay, so I'm not fear mongering. I plan on traveling in May. I'm going to go in May, hopefully, pay all my bills and things that I owe first before I go. And hopefully I'll be able to have some fun. I can bring back some content for you all to see. Yeah, ask me anything, Morgan. Go ahead. Sure. Before I go, if anybody have any more questions, go ahead. Wait for you, Morgan. Whenever you're ready to ask me, go ahead. Please do it. If anybody wants to ask a question and send me a love offer and super chat, that would be very nice. I'm just waiting for you, Morgan. Yeah, Barbie. When I was in Colombia last September. I contacted her. She didn't come. I contacted Barbie. I said, Barbie, I'm here. Can we see each other? But she just ignored me. Because you know what, Mark? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, thank you, Marcus. Thank you. Thank you. Marcus. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you very much, sir, for the gift. Thank you. See, one thing you have to understand about when you travel and when you meet someone that you like, that you may fall for, whatever, whether it be in Colombia, whether it be in Brazil, whether it be in Thailand, whether it be with any other country, if you don't live there, they're not going to take you seriously. And life goes on. Just because you meet somebody in Colombia, right, or whatever country that you're in, Brazil or whatever, that you meet somebody that you like, and you leave and you go to your country, and it may be months or so, or maybe even a year or so, or a month, whatever, before you can get back and see that person. Life goes on. Life goes on. And probably what happened with Barbie, she probably met someone. She probably got married. She could have had a baby. I mean, but when I did try to contact her, she didn't make no effort of trying to see me. So some things you just enjoy the moment, then some things you just have to let it go. But I met someone else, that was even more nicer than Barbie, so yeah, I miss Barbie. I did, yeah. But it was fun while the fun it was great while it lasted though. Let me see what else you said. I owe $100,000 on my house. when the hyperinflation hits, what does that mean as far as me paying it off? That don't inflate right, but it pay. Well, the problem is, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an economist. When you thought that, I just want to make that pretty clear. But the part is that if you're paying the mortgage, but you said you have a fixed interest rate though. You have a fixed rate, so it shouldn't bother you then, because you have a fixed rate. But the problem that I have, even though when you have your house, that you have other bills that you pay, that you have to maintain the house, and that's a factor of inflation. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, for example, if you have landscaping that you pay for, maybe it used to cost you, um, I'm gonna say, for example, $100, but then they may charge you $300. Or then some people have what you call, what's the name of those? Oh my God, my mind, I tell you, brother. Okay, Morgan, what's the name of that? They make you pay like a neighborhood, like the whole entire neighborhood pay this. It's a fee that you pay to maintain the property. What's the name of that? Um, God, man, why is my memory losing my memory today? It's about what's the name of that? Yeah, HOA fees. Yes, yes, yes. They can get you and stuff like that. Your HOA free. Yeah, your HOA free fees, and then taxes too. You still have to pay property taxes. So then, when you got inflation, then they may not get you on actually the mortgage of the house, but they could get you on other stuff like, so like property tax. Like you may pay, I'm just saying for example, you may pay $1,200 every 6 months on property tax. Then maybe next year they may charge you $2,000 or $3,000. You know, so that's how they get you. But they got you either way it goes. It's really unfortunate how they do this, but they got you either way it goes. They, the government gonna get their money one way or another. They're gonna get their money. As a matter of fact, I just found out, Morgan, that this is crazy. We have a utility company here in Michigan, Detroit, called Detroit Edison, DTE Energy. Like right now, this is where I'm getting my electricity from DTE. Okay, we have consumers energy. They just sent me an email the other day saying that they're gonna charge me a fee for paying with my debit card on my utility bill. They're gonna charge me $4 each time I send them to pay my bill. To pay my bill. Yep, the HOA, because I know my cousin, he had to pay HOA fee, and they going up. They going up. Yep. And you have to pay it. That's the part, that's the part that really gets me, because the house is yours. You got a mortgage and everything, but you charge you a HOA fee. It's like, them charging you a fee on a mobile home. You know what I'm saying? People have to pay extra, even though you pay cash or maybe for a mobile home, but you got to pay for where you put the mobile home at. It's like paying rent. You bought something, you're trying to get away from paying rent, but you're still paying rent. It's sad. It's really sad. Yeah, they're crooks. They're robbers, man. They're robbers. They're criminals, man. Yeah, yeah, you pay an HO fee, or yeah. Yeah, they constantly adding these fees. And then I heard too, and then I heard also that the TSA gonna start charging a fee, a $40 fee. See, this is all part of the collapse. What's happening? This is what you're gonna see more. This is what you're going to see more. As they get close to the economic collapse, you're going to see it's going to get. Let me tell you something. I'm not trying to be negative. God knows I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not. But you haven't seen nothing yet. You haven't seen nothing yet. They say, does your HOA more your heart would charge you and stuff like that? No, HOA doesn't do that. You have to hire, because my sister has a house, a nice home, and she pays an HOA fee, but no, it doesn't cover. Well, maybe no. Let me see. It doesn't cover her yard landscaping, but it covers like other places maybe. I don't know. It all depends on the HOA. If you all stop paying, then you'll get evicted. You'll be out here in the cold where it's almost 13 degrees, minus 13 degrees outside. It's really sad. It's really sad, man. He said, my HOA when I use my own personal yard space for my local swingers meeting. Yep. I can't believe I spent so much on this house. Yeah, that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. That does you getting a mortgage and you paying for a house was supposed to be yours, but other people still telling you what to do. Yeah, it's gonna let's see. Yeah, it's crazy. It's gonna get worse, guys. It's gonna get much worse. Because Trump is already deploying he wants to deploy the military into the streets. Because people are going to get what's going to happen was when economic collapse happened, people are going to get angry. And then what makes it, let me tell you this, what makes it so worse, just imagine if you lose your job. You go to work today and they say, we no longer need you. That's what's happening here in Detroit right now. GM just laid off 1,400 employees permanently. Permanently. So just imagine you have an HOA, you have a home and a mortgage, but you can't pay for it because your job laid you off, got rid of you. Yeah, I know it is, but it's going to get crazy, man. That's why I do my wealth building community. I started it here. If you want to join, you can join the YouTube membership, and I will add you on to the community of the wealth building community on WhatsApp. We talk about this stuff all the time. And Lynette Zane, I'm telling you, she is very good. She's very good. I just put that video out 2 days ago. One thing about me, guys, I'm going to always tell you the truth. I'm going to always tell you the truth. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, they're going to be selling cheaper, but yep, they will. But the problem is, what's going to happen is during the economic collapse, it's going to be worse than that, though. Because when people are hungry, when they can't eat, you know, that's a whole different level there. Yeah. They putting more ICE agents on the street. They getting ready for something. I have a feeling they getting ready for something. Because they putting all the military, they putting all these ICE agents out there on the streets. I was watching Instagram. I'm seeing some things that's scary, man. It's scary. It's real scary. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the main thing. Because I work in the healthcare field. Man, let me tell you something. If the healthcare disappear, you're screwed. Let me tell you something. The type of stuff that we do at the hospital, debridements and things like that, when people come in with infections and gangrenes of the toes and the foots and stuff like that. If we didn't have the medical field, if we didn't have the hospitals out here that take care of it, would be disastrous. To remember, there is going to be people that's going to prosper doing, like I told y'all listen to the video. I played the video for y'all. He said the ones that know where to go and where to move is the ones that's going to be saved. But the ones that's playing video games, I would say nothing wrong with video, but the ones that sit and watch the TV every day and thinking nothing's going to change, those are the ones that's going to get hit the most when the economic collapse happens. But disease is going to be the most scariest thing. Yeah. Yeah. And matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, there's like a virus going around. People have been getting sick, but I think Trump has laid off a lot of the scientists that works for the CDC, Center for Disease Control. And they're the ones that monitor all this. If there's anything going on, that you should know about, I think they fired everybody in the CDC. So we don't have no idea what's really out there. Anybody else got any more questions? Feel free. If you got any more questions to ask me, go ahead and do it before I close this live. Anybody have any more questions? Any questions on the video? Got 4 minutes to go before I end this live. Okay, I guess there's no more questions. Okay, I will be back again next week again. Thank you all very much for coming on this live today. Let me see. Okay, what's your reaction towards? Oh man, whoo, Marcus. Oh my goodness, I've never heard of nothing like this before. I never heard of nothing like this before. I think what's going to happen is they're going to retaliate. They're going to retaliate. So when things hit the fan here, and you try to go over there, they're going to deny you access. That's what this is. They're going to deny you access. Your passport's not going to mean nothing to all these countries anymore. The U.S. is being isolated. We're going to be an isolated place. Nobody will want to do trade here. Nobody's going to want to come here or anything. he think that he's doing good, but what he's doing is he's pushing people away. So right now you can go if Thailand said if he said that he's pausing visa processing for people in Thailand to come over here, why can't they do the same thing to you? But we're just making enemies. That's all we're doing. Just making more and more enemy and making it more and more difficult to travel. So that's I thought I'd ask you because Colombians, your sanctuary. I know, man. I love that place, man. I love Colombia. I do. And I miss my friend. I miss my friend Cookie. I really do. I talked to her today. As a matter of fact, her son is getting ready to have a birthday party, and I told her I'll pay for the cake. I'm gonna send her some money to buy a birthday cake and some ice cream. No, that's the least. She never asked for money or anything. She's she's a really good person, and she was there for me when I was really sick too. She never asked for anything. That's one thing I like about her. If there was anybody right now that I probably would settle down with, it would be her. It probably would be her. Yeah. But I got to get out there. I'm going there, man. I don't care. They can talk about whatever war, whatever. If commercial airlines are still flying out there, I'm going. If they shoot the plane out the sky, so be it. You know, we're all going to die some one day anyway. So what the heck? You know what I'm saying? Let me see. What the heck? I'm going. I gotta go see her. I'm going to see her. But I got to pay off my bills and everything too, But I know things is getting more expensive. And that's why we got to create other avenues of income. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else got any more questions? Any questions about the economic collapse? But just get ready, man. If they decide to attack, I'm gonna tell you this before I go. If they decide to attack Greenland, it's gonna be a mess. If they attack Greenland, if they invade Greenland, it's going to be really not good for us. Yeah, they say things are going to be expensive. Yeah, it was expensive then. When I went to Medellin last year in September, and before that, I saw the prices of everything going up even there. Because, let me give you an example. I like to drink juice sometimes. I went to the store there, and I bought a bottle of cranberry juice. A bottle of cranberry, I told you all this before, a bottle of cranberry juice here is like $3.58, maybe close to $4. I'm talking about using American dollars here. When I went to the supermarket there and bought the same exact thing, when I converted everything, when I converted the dollar into pesos, no, when I converted the pesos to dollars, I think it was like 40,000 pesos for a bottle of Ocean Spray cranberry juice. It came out to $6. So I was paying $3 more for a bottle of cranberry juice in Colombia than what I would pay for here. So yes, inflation is happening there. Let me say, Tony was that U.S. name brand cranberry juice or Latin America. It was the American brand. It was Ocean Spray. It was Ocean Spray. So when I compared, I said, wait a minute, I paid $6 for this? Let me show you. Hold on for a minute. This is what I purchased in Colombia. This juice right here. Right here. This same juice here in the States would cost you $3.50, maybe close to four. Maybe $3. $3.58. I think that's what this costs. I like to drink this because it's good for your bladder. But in Colombia, I paid more for this over there than I paid here. And then some of the other stuff was the same way. I said, wait a minute. I'm paying I'm paying more money for a whole lot of stuff because what's crazy is the dollar supposedly is supposed to be worth more, right? But why am I still paying more for certain things over there than I do over here? That was crazy. But a lot of the other stuff was cheap though, like the Ubers and all that stuff it was very cheap. It was very cheap. Uber is still like $2 or $3 and stuff. Some of the street vendors and stuff that they sell was very cheap. So that was some stuff that was still cheap, but I was really surprised at the grocery store how I was paying more for groceries over there than I was over here, but the dollar's supposed to be worth more over there. That was, I just couldn't understand. That was really, really crazy. In Colombia, they have a store named D110. Is it similar to all these? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Chris. Yes. But I guess where I stay at with them in Poblado is like the mall and the store is walking distance from where I stay. It only takes me about maybe 10 minutes to walk to the store. You know what I'm saying? So some stuff has high import taxes if they don't have a manufacturing facility in Colombia, like the Apple product. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So that's why I like talking to you, Chris. You give a lot of information. Let me see. Double standards because some things are cheap here, but more than there. Some things are expensive here, but cheaper. Yeah, I know, right. You're right, Marcus. It goes back and forth. But overall, the cost of groceries here is very expensive. It's very expensive. I went to the store the other day, and believe it or not, just with a few groceries cost me like $80. $80. And a pack of bacon right now, a pack of bacon costs like $8. Let me show y'all. Hold on. Yeah, a pack of bacon. This pack of bacon here costs close to $8. $8. Nothing's cheap no more. Nothing is cheap. Yeah, they do. And you know what? You're right. At the store, I did notice that they had their own brand too. They had their own brand. Yeah, they do have their own brand and stuff. Yeah, it's not bad either. I think about they have their own potato chips too. I can't remember the name of it, but it was pretty good. Not bad. Yeah, wait a minute. You said, for instance, Tony, some Essex shoes costs about 110 in the U.S. But you buy the same one in Colombia, it will cost at least $170. Yeah, yep. Some stuff you do pay more. Yep. Yeah, I noticed that. Yep. And then the hotel prices is going up too. Because the resort that I used to stay, believe it or not, when I first started staying there, the cost was like $60 a day. Actually, $60. But now they want to charge you 120 to 130 or $40 a day. It went up a lot. It is expensive there. It is getting expensive. And the other stuff has gotten really expensive too. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to mention it on this channel. But there's some other things that went up exactly along with everything else. Yep, there's more restrictions on Airbnbs and managing, therefore less supply. Still high demand of tourists equal Airbnb and hotel would be more expensive. Yeah, hotels is more expensive. Yeah. But wait till the economic collapse happens. And just imagine when the dollar goes on the spiral down, when it keeps going down, it's going to be even worse, man. I think because the Airbnb, Chris, the reason why they more restriction is because they're trying to curb sex tourism. Yeah, you're right, Marcus. They made the prices go up. They sure did. People couldn't keep their mouth shut. Okay, guys. Thank you all for being on this live tonight. You said, Marcus, you said, yes, the Dollar City looks exactly like the Dollar Tree. Yeah, yep, yep. Okay, guys. I don't know what's going on this time, but back in 2024 and 2023 especially, it was all because, yeah, they messed up a whole lot. The gringos really ruined the travel. They did. They ruined travel. Well, hey, thank you, Boravelis. Thank you, man. Make sure you join my membership, okay? About the wealth building community, okay? Hit my like button and subscribe too, brother. Thank you. Yeah, they messed up a lot of stuff, man. They couldn't keep their mouth shut. And I predicted it. You got two YouTubers that had their channels taken down from YouTube. I told you. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you. And make sure you join my membership too. It's only $2.99 a month. We be talking about a lot of interesting stuff, that's about the wealth building, about buying gold, about buying stock, about crypto, buying rare earths elements. We talked about that. We talk about a lot of things on my community. So make sure you join. Okay? That way you won't miss. And I tell you what the stock market is doing. I tell you about what the Dow Jones Industrial is doing, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500. What's going on? Because we got to position ourselves for when the reset happens. Okay? So make sure you do that, okay? Yeah, yeah. It was like a replica of the Lay's. Yeah, they got their own potato. It's not bad. It tastes pretty good. It tastes pretty good. Yeah, they got $4.99 or $2.99, wherever which one. If you join the $2.99 Bavalas or the $4.99, it all depends on you. But everybody gets the same all the way across. And I'm getting ready to drop some more content on what's and I will when you join the membership, um, I'm going to add you on. Let me know, and I will add you on WhatsApp. We have a community there on WhatsApp. I got a wealth building community on there, and let me give you the number too. Hold on for a second. I think it's 253-653-9666. 248-653-9666 is the WhatsApp number. Okay. No, just the membership is for YouTube. You join the YouTube membership, and I will add you on the WhatsApp community group. I do this stuff for members only, people that support the channel, members only. I do the wealth building. Um, I got the wealth building group, and believe me, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed because I added the video on there yesterday about Lynette. Lynette Zane is a gold expert, and she predicted back. I remember I was watching her back in 2017. And back then, the price of gold was 500 an ounce. And I remember she said that the price of gold was going to go up, it was going to quadruple. The price of gold is $4,460 now. If we fast forward from 2017 to 2026, it has quadrupled. And they say it's going to go up even more higher. What you mean, how I like to pay? I am financially independent and can do the same for you. Okay, just if you want to join my membership, this is for membership for YouTube subscribers. So I give something back. I give financial information back for my subscribers. So if you're financially independent, then you don't need me then. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an economist or anything. I just pass on information. That's all. But I would like to hear what you said on the WhatsApp, though. Yeah, yeah. Pass on. We all pass on information to each other because there were, we talk to each other. Like if I have something that's going on, I will post it. If you got something you got going on, you'll post it. And I have several people that have posted very, very great information. There was someone on there that posted about rare earth minerals. Some of the companies that are going to start moving towards that, and that's another good place to invest because rare earth mineral is the big thing now. Okay, whatever ideas you want to do, man, it's up to you, board fellas. Let me see how many people are here now. It's 9 people. Do anybody else have any more questions before I end this live stream? You got 4 minutes. I say you start. Well, this is for the YouTube channel, Board for Alice. This is for This is for the YouTube channel for support. He said, be careful. Yeah, you gotta be careful with food poisoning, especially in Cartagena. You're right about that, Marcus. Matter of fact, I think a couple of years ago there was somebody that actually passed away from food poisoning. So yeah, you gotta be very careful. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off. Peace and blessings to everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Okay? If you want to join the membership, just go on YouTube members and just join. Let me know, and I add you to the WhatsApp lips. The WhatsApp, $2.99 a month is very cheap for the information that you'll be getting constantly. You know, there's more than a cup of coffee, less than a cup of coffee. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely, Provelis. Okay. Thank you all. Love you all. God bless. Thank you. See y'all on the next live, okay? Peace. And thank everybody for giving. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you very much for the gifts. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.